Living in America is a blessing. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. My proof for when you can actually leave the country, if you have the papers for it. But look, it's also pretty clear that everything isn't perfect. Women are still paid less than men. Rights are waived for the sake of convenience. And Muslims are still mistreated and looked down upon. There is a culture of fear being spread through the actions of individuals and organizations who work together to create an image of Muslims. This image is laminated in negativity and shipped off to the nearest news outlet. There is real money going into these ventures. A study done by the Center for American Progress tallied up a total of about 40 million circulated in support for Islamophobic campaigns. These campaigns ultimately gain the most traction when government officials enter their role. These are authority figures, the people that represent entire communities. They can't possibly be wrong, can they? The polls reflect that. In 2010, a poll done by the Washington Post held that 49% of Americans held an unfavorable view of Islam. Over the past few weeks, me and a group of distinguished researchers have researched what elected officials have said about Islam or Muslims. What we found was a pretty substantial list of underhanded statements and generally impolite assumptions about what Islam is and does. What's interesting is that these and a lot of other remarks aren't always outright combative. It's the type of comment that people defend with, well, they are practicing free speech. 2014. Nominee for the governor of California, Tim Donnelly, writes in a Facebook post, given the recent stories and protests about the outrage and discriminatory nature of Sharia law, we're horrified that Kashkari would support Sharia anything. October 2010. State Senate candidate Nashim Shifrin attends a rally with the EDL, a group with an anti-Muslim stance. Everything we need to know about Islam, we learned on 9/11. There's a point to this video. One is to spread awareness, and I think we've gotten it down pretty well so far. I'm also trying to get you to do something about it. Just little things, mind you. The type that you can do once a day, once a week, or once a month. First off, get yourself educated. Read or watch the news. If you need some Jon Stewart to help the digestion, it's better than nothing. So now you read the news. What then? Type up a letter to the editor. Get the stories that are hot off the press, stories that you think misrepresent Muslims, or stories that you think are positive. Make them short, sweet, and punchy, without the bite. Find out about your local elected officials, mayors, state senators, assembly members. Write them a letter or two. Pay them a visit at their district offices. Tell them who you are, what you represent. When a pressing bill or issue arises in the community, whether it's an issue of racial profiling, immigration, privacy, or tuition increases, make sure they hear from you. You don't have to talk just about Islam in this case. What matters is that you're an individual, and moreover, their constituent. And when you write a letter, you're recognized as one. And you're helping to build bridges between you and your representative. Your neighbors are the most immediate people you can affect. Build friendships with them. Attend neighborhood events. Offer to collect their mail while they're away. You don't need to do the door-to-door Islam plug. You just need to foster a relationship. On the topic of relationships, it's important to donate to organizations that cater or can potentially cater to the Muslim community. But see, it isn't always about the money. You can donate your time by volunteering. Obviously, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention CAIR, an advocacy group that aids the Muslim community by working in and around government to make sure our voices are heard. Interning at CAIR is a great way to not only directly help combat Islamophobia, but also to increase your understanding of government and current events. Consistency, consistency, consistency. This is likely the most important thing to keep in mind. Imagine the rapport you create with an individual as a muscle. If you work out every day for 3 weeks, then stop for 6 months, it goes from strong, solid, and unwavering to flabby and with less structural integrity than before. Even if consistency looks like a letter a month, it's something.